Right, so how does a for loop work? So normally how we write for loop is say for integer I is equal to 0, I is less than 2, I plus plus, and then we will have a open curly bracket and a closed curly bracket, right? So this is the structure of a for loop. So the territory of the for loop starts from the open curly bracket and ends inside the what you call a closed curly bracket. So whatever you write within this curly bracket area is owned by the for loop. So when the for loop runs, whatever you write within this what you call a curly bracket area will run. Okay, so this is the home of the for loop, but this is the governing area of the for loop, right? So all fine. Now let's say if it is Java, we write sorry, not serial is for Arduino, system dot out dot, let's say println hi, to print hi. Okay, so I write something here. So if it is Arduino, you will write serial dot println. If it is C, you will write printf. It's up to you. So now you will get some output, right? But anyway, to understand how this thing work, I will draw another diagram so that you can simply understand how the structure of the for loop is implemented, actually how the functionality of the for loop is implemented. So I will write another loop, let's say here. So how I will write is, I will take this part, this int I0 is in top. So I will write int, let's say I is equal to 0. Okay. Then I will take the next part and I will write it as the condition for the loop. Let's say for I is less than 2. Okay, so actually this doesn't have to be 4, but anyway, to check the condition, we have it here. You'll understand once I complete this. Okay, then you write whatever the coding is there within this loop area. So you say I write SOP, that means system out println. I say hi. Okay, so now what about him? This I plus plus. He has to come at the last line of the for loop. Within this for loop, in the last line, we will have I double plus. So now, what is this? So this will not work actually. If you write like this, your coding, it will give you a compile time error, obviously. So you have to write the code like this. This will only work. But to understand how these things are implemented, I drew this structure so that you can understand how this functionality is implemented. So therefore, like let me say I broke it into 3 pieces. So first part is initialization, right? We initialize and we give a value to a variable. So let's say we declare and initialize a variable. So I write it on the top. Then the second part is the condition, checking out the condition for the loop, right? So I write the condition here. So and then so that the for loop is, this for loop is going to check the condition. Then the increment part. So I write the increment part at the end of the for loop, that in the sense at the last line of the for loop implementation. So now it is, if you look at this, it's very easy to you to understand how this this for loop is implemented this way. Okay, so all fine. So now we will see how it works. So first line, we say integer I is equal to 0. So at the moment what happens is, in the memory we have a space where we save the value 0 and we name it as I. All good. So anyway, if you understand it, it's good. Even if you don't understand, still it's not a problem to understand the for loop. Okay, everything is fine. Now you know the I value is 0, right? So now we have a condition, right? I is less than 2 and the for loop starts and ends, and the loop starts and ends actually. And you have this whatever the loop you have this coding that has to be implemented and the loop runs. All fine. So now how does the condition works? Remember it always, for any loop or any if condition or anything, your condition, okay, if the condition written inside the bracket, if it has to be true only, that loop will run. Okay, if your condition is false at any cost, then the loop will not run. Then the loop will be skipped and this program will come to the last line, I mean the next line of the out of the loop. Okay, that means if you can't see, I will, all good. Okay, So if this is false, this loop will not be running. It will be skipped. The whole part of the loop will be skipped, and the program will move to the next line of the coding, right? So out of the loop, we will skip the loop and we will proceed further. So everything is fine. So now you think about this condition, okay? So I is less than 2. So now see what is I value? We have I is 0. So 0 is less than 2. Here 0 is less than 2. Is it true or false? True. So it is true. So that in the sense, as I said, if true comes inside this condition, inside this brackets, then the loop will run, right? So then the for now, since this is true, the for loop will start to run. So that in the sense, the for loop will area will, whatever you write inside the for loop area will be implemented. So this everything here will be implemented. So what is that? You print hi. So let's say I print hi here. One time I print hi. Okay, this is the output. All fine. Now what is this? So this means now we will come to the next line, because this is also inside the loop. So inside in the first time iteration of the loop, we will have the I plus plus. So what does it mean is I is equal to I plus 1. That means we simply increment the I value. So now you tell me, now the current I value is 0, right? So now we increment it by 1. So now what is the new value? The new value is now 1. Okay, new I value is 1. So now I became 1, right? So now the thing is, once the loop is completed, but since it's a loop, again we have to go and check the condition whether it is true or false. Only if the condition is false, then we will skip the loop and we will come to the other lines. If there's any other coding, that coding will run. Suppose if the condition is true again, what we will do is we will run again run the loop. So whatever you wrote inside the loop will again run inside the for loop. So then again we'll come and check whether it is true or false. So until it is being true, we are going to keep running all these things within these brackets. We will not go beyond this. Once it comes false in any situation, at any situation, if we find it to be false, then immediately we will skip this whole part and we'll come to the next line of the code, and the rest of the code will be implemented. All good, right? So now I is equal to 1. So at the end of this line, I is equal to 1. So again the for loop ends here. So we come here and we check the condition here. So what is the condition now? Now let's say 1 is less than 2, because I is now 1. From 0 it became 1. So now is that true or false? You know, this is also true. So that means this for loop is again, now here we have true here again. So this for loop is going to run once again. So again we have to print hi. So I say hi. Okay. So now again I increment it with 1. So now the current I is 1. So 1 plus 1. We have number 2. Okay. So now you see, that means this value becomes 2 now. Now 2 is the value. Okay. So now I become 2. Now again we come here, as it is a loop, we have to, once the loop is completed, we have to come again and check the condition, and only if the condition is false, then we will move out of the loop. If the condition is true again, we will keep running inside the loop. That is a rule for any loop, right? So now the condition is 2, no? So I write 2 is less than 2, because 2 less than 2, this is checking, right? So now 2 is not less than 2, no? So this is actually now false. False or not? False, obviously. So that means this, whatever comes inside the bracket is now false. So false came inside the bracket. So now obviously we are not authorized to run the for loop. Okay, the system is not now going to skip the whole for loop and immediately come to this next line of the for loop. So if there is a coding out of the for loop, that will run. If there is no coding, then this program will come to its end. So the for loop is successfully completed now. So now you see you have printed hi 2 times. So if you have 3 here, the for loop will be printing hi 3 times, obviously. If you check out the way I checked out these conditions, I checked out this functionality, you will find you have 3 highs here. So this is how this for loop functions. But when you write the for loop in the code, you are write this way. So this may not be clear to you, but if you see the functionality in this method and how it works, this structure, then you will understand how this is implemented. So your coding quality, or what you call the understanding of the code, will be much better. So I hope you got a good idea about for loop. Thanks a lot.